Deep Power. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you're seeing this live, but if not, you can watch it after the fact. Couple of things you might want for practice today. You might want to grab a strap, and if you don't have a yoga strap, that's okay. You could even use a belt or a hand towel. And you may not even need it, but just in case, you can grab a strap. And you might also want to grab a block or something that you could use for that. And just a word about deep power and how it differs from maybe power flow or some of the other power classes. Deep power is just essentially a slower power class. And so we tend to do less flow, less vinyasa and movement between the poses, and just longer holds, staying in the poses a little bit longer. And so for our practice today, I really just invite you to be patient and to as we move into our practice, be willing to stay even in some of this discomfort. Notice what might show up for you in terms of your thoughts and your stories. And this next hour together, just spending time being in our body. So if you'll just take a moment to find a comfortable seat, you can sit up onto a bolster or a block, or just on the ground is fine too. And take a moment to allow your eyes to close, if that is comfortable for you. And noticing the presence and the quality of your breath. And carving out this time for your practice. Getting away from the busyness or the chaos, some of the anxiousness, the anxiety and the stress, and just allowing your body to feel, allowing the breath to be full and spacious and present in your body. And as you draw your next full breath in through the nostrils, will you take just a moment to pause at the top of that in-breath, holding all the way full. And then send a sigh out your mouth and just let it go. Make any noise that comes out, that's fine. Just a nice sigh out the mouth. And let's do that again. A full breath in through the nostrils, holding full the top of that in-breath. And then when you're ready to release, just let it go. A nice sigh out your mouth. Relax your jaw, muscles of your face. And let's do one more just like that. A full breath in, sitting up straight and tall. And sending a sigh out your mouth and letting it go. Letting it release. And if you are familiar with Ujjayi breath, you're welcome to engage that now, using the muscles at the back of your throat. And just gently to move the breath in and out of the body. And on your next exhale, I'd like for you to just bow your head, bringing your chin down toward your chest. And then gently roll your head over towards your right shoulder. A little stretch for the left side of the neck and the jaw. And then exhale the head forward again, chin to chest. And then roll the head over toward the left shoulder. And then exhale, head forward. And once again, over to the right. If this particular movement doesn't feel good to your neck, keep your head upright and just simply turn your head side to side. And so finish out another round or two of this, just feeling into the muscles of the neck and around the jaw and collarbone. And then we'll go ahead and come back to an upright position here. If you are sitting up onto a block or a bolster, you can put that to the side for now. And extend the right leg forward, straight out in front of you. You can bring the sole of the left foot here to your inner thigh for a pose called Janu Shirshasana. And so you can always support this knee with the block. We are going to come into a forward fold over the right leg. This might be where you use a strap or a belt or a towel. You can take the strap around the sole of the foot. Okay, so let's inhale and stretch the arms straight up, grounding through the sits bones, lengthening out tall. And then as you exhale, come forward. Again, you can grab a hold of the foot or use that strap around the foot. Try to keep your pelvis center and rooted so that the sits bones still connected to the floor. And notice the breath here. You can lengthen a little bit through the in-breath, sitting up a little bit taller, and exhaling deeper into your fold. So in this way, I'm going to show you the side view here. In this way, you can move a little tiny bit with each breath. It doesn't have to be huge, but there's a little invitation to extend and to create space on the in-breath, and a little invitation to draw deeper or to move into that space that you created on the out-breath. Okay, so let's stay here in this one-legged forward fold for about 3 more breaths. Not trying to force anything in the body, but just allowing for the breath to work its magic. Your last full breath here. And we're going to come back upright, so let's stretch back up through the arms. Bring the left hand to the floor behind you. And you can either just stretch back and open up toward the ceiling, or you can lift up and come up on top of that left knee and arch back. You might even cradle the back of your head with your right hand, coming into a little back bend, heart opener. Take one more breath here. And then gently ease your way back down to your seat. And let's go ahead and switch sides. So extend that left leg out in front of you, and the right foot will be here to the inner thigh. Again, you can use your strap or reach for the foot. We're going to extend the arms up first, stretch up straight and tall, lengthen. And then on exhale, come forward and fold over this left leg. Again, we're not forcing the body or being aggressive with this stretch. Starting to open up here, the hamstrings, and feeling into the lower back. And just as I showed you on the other side, you can start to move a little bit here with each breath and just get curious how the breath manifests in your body, creating a little bit of space and opening. And we're going to stay here for about 3 more breaths on this side. Again, part of our practice is to cultivate some patience and willingness to stay and feel and be present. So your last breath here. And then we'll extend and lengthen back up, stretch up tall through the arms, and bring now your right hand back behind you. We'll do the same thing here. You can either reach back or lift up on top of the knee and arch back. And again, you can cradle the back of your head for a little neck support here. Taking one more breath. And then gently come back to your seat. Good job, you guys. You can scoot your props to the side and make your way to your hands and your knees. So as you come forward to the hands and knees, just get a sense here of your neutral spine. So neither rounded nor arched. Feeling into the ground firmly through the hands and the pads of the fingers. And we are going to start to move a little bit here through cat-cow, moving the spine with the breath. So on your inhale, you'll lift the tailbone slightly, open up the front body, draw the heart forward, and then as you exhale, tuck through your tailbone, round your spine, chin to chest. And again, inhale to open, a little lift of the tail. And then exhale to curl and tuck and round the spine. And we'll do a couple more rounds in this way. Open and lift. And then exhale, round the spine. One more like this. Inhale, lift and expand. Open up the front body. And then exhale, tuck the tail around your spine. And this time, I'd like for you to sit all the way into child's pose for a few breaths. You can always take the knees just a little bit wider here, letting the forehead rest. You can even drop your arms down along your sides for embryo. But take maybe 3 to 5 more breaths here in this grounded, stable child's pose or embryo pose. And noticing where the breath manifests for you here in this posture. And for me, I can feel it in the lower back and the kidney area. Just notice where you might be feeling the breath expanding and opening and creating space. Take one more here. We're going to come back up to the hands and the knees and go ahead and tuck the toes under, pick up the knees and make your way into your first downward facing dog of practice. If you need to adjust your feet a little bit, you can do that. And these first few breaths, feel free to shift your weight, bending into one knee and then the other, and shifting your hips a little bit, perhaps maybe even doing a little kind of spinal movement, that's fine. Just getting your bearings here, this first down dog. And then after a couple of breaths with some shifting and some movement, I'd invite you to really find a place to anchor and feel anchored and solid through both hands and through both feet. A little uplift of the tailbone and the shoulders, relaxing a little bit away from the ears. If it helps you to send a sigh or two out the mouth here in your downward dog, you can work with that. Starting to generate a little bit of heat here. For the last couple of breaths, see if you can press down just a little bit more through your heels, maybe even lift and spread your toes. Your heels may not touch the ground, and that's okay. Take one more breath here. And then bend your knees and just walk forward toward the hands, coming into a forward fold. Bend your knees a little bit here as you fold. And then grab a hold of opposite elbows for ragdoll pose. Let your neck and your jaw relax. Maybe a little movement or shifting side to side. Good. Take another full breath here. We're going to stay in our forward fold. You can either just release your elbows and let your hands come down to the floor or blocks, or you might even reach around and grab a hold, just the backs of your calves and ankles, And just give a little more assistance here coming into this fold. Take 2 more breaths, relaxed and easy through the jaw and the muscles of your face. And then let's release out of that. Extend your spine, halfway lift. As you exhale, as you really anchor your feet, bring your hands to your hips, push the feet into the floor. Let's come all the way up to standing. And then release your arms down along your sides. Your feet can be about hip bone distance apart. Shoulders soften down and away. Your next in-breath, stretch and lengthen up through both arms. Reach up tall, maybe lift your gaze up some. Exhale, dive forward and fold. A little bend in the knees as you fold it in. Spinal extension, halfway lift as you inhale. Hands can come up to shins or blocks. And then take the hands down to the floor and step your way to plank pose or upper push-up. And we're going to hold here for a few breaths. Now, you have the option of always coming down to your knees. That's always an option. Or you can skip your plank and move directly into downward facing dog. But again, one thing I like you to do is challenge yourself here and stay. Even when it's hard, even when you want to experience something else, and even when there is some discomfort, stay and feel. Take another full breath here. And you're going to rock the whole body forward a little bit and lower down, chaturanga, dandasana. Slow as you can, come all the way down to the belly. Point the toes, elbows point up, shoulders back, open up to a little mini cobra. It doesn't have to be huge. And as you draw your shoulders back, telescope your rib cage and your heart forward. Press the toenail side of your foot down into the floor for 1 more breath here. Good, and then release and press your way back to downward facing dog. Hips lift up, little lift of the tail, continue to draw the thighs back and the heels, moving a little bit closer toward the floor. Continue to allow the breath to move in and out using your Ujjayi pranayama. Take 2 more breaths in this down dog, you guys. Feel into your core strength, your arm strength, opening your hamstrings. And then bend your knees and look forward, step or hop toward the top of your mat. Extend your spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're going to bend the knees and sit. Put the weight back a little bit into the heels and extend and lengthen up through the arms. Utkatasana, fierce pose. You're going to draw the hips back, the hips and the thighs back a little bit, and sit a little bit deeper. Now you can stay here, or you could goal post the arms and create a little more space in the shoulders and the upper back, a slight uplift of the heart. Take another full breath here. And then as you exhale, take your arms down. Open up the palms, spread the fingers. You can keep it here, or you might even choose to interlace the fingers behind the back. Couple more breaths, everybody. Dig deep, maybe sit a little bit deeper into this chair. And then release and bring it into your forward fold. Lengthen out your spine on your in-breath. Take your hands to the floor. Once again, step to plank pose. Now, you can take the shortcut to downward dog or come to your knees. We're going to hang out here for just a couple more breaths. And we're going to do a slow motion chaturanga. Okay, you guys, as slow as you can. So the whole body shifts forward. Slow and steady. You can take even more than 1 breath if you want to. Okay, so lower, down, body straight and stiff in the board. All the way behind you and up. When you feel your edge here, then pause and breathe. And maybe even push a little bit deeper into this extended leg. Like you're trying to push into the wall behind you. Take another full breath here. And then as you exhale, you're going to move forward a little bit toward that plank pose and pull the right knee in towards your forehead. A little rounded spine. Inhale, slow and steady like you're moving through honey. Reach the leg up, stretch it tall. And then exhale, come forward. Pull your knee in, lift and engage your core. And then one more of these, nothing rushed. Reach it up, find your edge. And then exhale, pull that knee in, and then step your foot all the way through. This first lunge, you guys are going to come down to this back knee and bring the hands up to the right thigh. Now, if you need a little bit of padding underneath that left knee, you can flip over your mat like this, creating that padding, or if you happen to have a blanket or a bolster, you can use that. Hands up to your right thigh, square off the hips, stretch up through the arms, lengthen and lift. Try to really hug that right hip back, squeeze inner thighs toward that center line, and then let's bend the elbows. Now from here, you can keep it exactly as is, or deepen into the lunge a little bit, feel into your back thigh, and open up your chest. And some people even like to hold the back of the head, the hands, cradling the back of the head so you don't strain your neck. Take 2 more breaths here. Good, and then come back up, re-extend, bring the hands to the floor. Now, we're going to step to plank pose and shift into a side plank. And we're going to revisit this pose a few times. And so this first time through, shift your weight into your right hand, your right palm. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot. Take your left arm up. Now, if you need to modify, come down to that right knee. Or you can even come down to the right forearm. Okay, so it's just like plank pose. Your body is stiff and straight as like a board. Pulling the hips up. Breathe here. Maybe flexing the toes back toward the shins. Last breath, you guys. Bring this left hand back to plank. Down dog or a slow chaturanga. Slow as you can. Point your toes, open up to your cobra, lift and extend forward, and then downward facing dog. Take a moment here just to get your bearings, feel your breath. And then, again, just as we did on the other side, with mindful awareness, shift your weight towards your right foot. The left leg slowly reaching back behind you and up. Feel into this leg, stretch and lengthen, active through your toes. As you exhale, you're going to move toward your plank pose and pull this left knee in. Lift the belly, round your spine. Take the leg back again, slow and steady. Reach and lengthen. When you feel you found your edge, pause here. And then exhale, pull this knee in. Lift the belly, round your spine. Strong through your core. One more of these, you guys. Take the leg back. Like you're trying to push into the wall behind you. Strong. Exhale, pull this knee in. And then step this foot all the way through. Come down to the back knee. And bring your hands up to your left thigh. Now again here, you can pad that knee with your doubling up the mat or with the blanket. So square off the hips, squeeze inner thighs toward that center line. Reach and lengthen up through the arms. Tailbone drawing down a little bit, reach up tall. And then if you'd like to here, bend your elbows and Lifting up a little bit through your chest, leaning back, last one. And then re-extend, bring your hands back to the floor. Step your left foot back to plank pose. Now, side plank, Vashisthasana. We're going to shift the weight into the left hand, roll to the outer edge of that left foot, and extend the right arm up. And you can always modify here by coming down to that knee. Okay, otherwise try to keep your feet stacked. Flex your toes back strongly toward your shins. Pull the hips up. Reach through those right fingertips. Take one more breath. And then exhale back to your plank pose. Strong through your core, you guys, engage your belly. Your choice, down dog or that slow motion chaturanga. Point your toes, pull your shoulders back, lift and open up through the chest. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good, so come down to your knees for a second and just take a look at your screen for a moment. We're going to work with a version of down dog called turbo dog. They often do this in forest yoga. So it's basically halfway between down dog and dolphin. We call it purgatory. Okay, so we're going to work with that today. So your forearms will still stay parallel, and your elbows will bend so they're hovering a little bit away from the ground, but they won't come all the way to the ground like dolphin. And we won't hold this for 3 minutes, so don't stress. Okay, so bend the elbows, let your head relax, and you're going to pick up the knees. And if you want to come to down dog first, that's fine. Find your down dog, and then bend your elbows a few inches from the floor. Pull, like you're squeezing your forearms around a block or a medicine ball. Let the shoulders go away from the ears. You could even bend your knees some and pull your hips up. So if you're not already in the pose, you guys, get in it. Come with me. And we're going to hang out here for a few breaths. Squeeze in, pull the belly in strong and tight. Don't put your elbows all the way to the ground, and also do not straighten out your arms. For 3, 2, 1, and come down to your knees and take child's pose. And just stretch the arms out in front. Feel your breath here. Let's add a little side stretch, you guys. So walk your hands over to the left side of your mat and stretch into the right arm and ribs and side body. And then walk your hands over to the right of your mat and stretch into the left arm and ribs and side body. Good. And then back to center. We're going to make our way back up to hands and knees. And downward facing dog, just regular down dog, not turbo dog. Arms straight, maybe tiny little micro bend. And then extend with that mindful awareness, the right leg back, reach it up, long and lengthened after through the toes. Try to keep your left foot really stable. Even if the heel doesn't come all the way to the ground, try to keep that foot stable as you bend your right leg, lift up the hip without shifting much through your shoulders, your hands. Take another breath here. And then we're going to pull that right foot all the way through for a high lunge. And let's go ahead and start with the hands on the hips here, just to get a sense of our center. Pulling that right hip back, left hip forward just a touch. You can always put a little bend in that back knee. Squeeze your inner thighs toward midline like you're hugging around a block. Lift up through the chest, and then send the arms up alongside the ears. This is high lunge or crescent lunge. The So you can go with your breath, take 2 more here. Maybe draw a little bit deeper into this lunge. And then coming back upright, we're going to bring the hands down to the floor or blocks, if you've got blocks handy. And we're going to pick up this back leg. So the left leg will reach and lengthen up toward the ceiling, standing splits, and you can fold over this leg. You might take the right hand and forearm behind your right calf and fold a little bit deeper, reaching out through those left toes. If that doesn't suit you, just bring your fingertips to the floor or blocks. Take another full breath here. See if you can reach those left toes up one more little bit. And then send the left foot to the back of the mat. And you're going to walk the hands over to the left. Parallel your feet for Prasarita Padottanasana. The feet parallel or slightly pigeon-toed. Lengthen as you inhale, spinal extension. Keep the feet plugged in. As you exhale, fold. 5 deep breaths here. See if you can relax your neck here, you guys, your jaw. Let your whole upper body weigh heavy here. Take one last breath. And then lengthen back up to that extended spine. And we're going to walk the hands back up toward the top of the mat, back into a lunge. Now from here, you guys, we're going to step back to plank and come into another Vashisthasana, side plank. Okay, so rolling to the outer edge of that right foot. Now, here are your options. You could bring the sole of your left foot to the right inner thigh for an embellishment here, a side tree pose. Still balancing on the outer edge of that right foot. Or you could hold on to the knee with your left hand and kind of play around with this balance. Okay, so 2 more breaths here. Strong and lifted. Good, and then release back to your plank pose, your choice down, directly to down dog or a slow and steady chaturanga. Point your toes, inhale, open up into that cobra pose if you're working with that, and then downward facing dog. Take a moment to pause here, you guys. Slow and steady. Left leg reaching back behind you, lengthen it up. As we did on the other side, try to anchor this right foot, even if the heel doesn't come all the way down. Bend your left leg, lift your hip up. So turn that knee out to the side, try not to move your shoulders, your hands. Step your left foot through for this high lunge. So you can start with your hands on your hips, just to get a sense of that evenness, that level position of your pelvis. Pull your left hip back, squeeze inner thighs toward that center line, lengthen through your spine. Stretch your arms up alongside your ears. And again, working with this crescent lunge. You can start to deepen into your lunge a little bit and open up into a little more extension. Take 2 more breaths. And then release out of that. Bring the hands down to the floor or blocks. You're going to shift your weight onto your left foot, your standing leg. The right leg floats up. Now, you can use blocks. You can have your fingertips on the floor, or you can start to fold a little bit more over this left leg. Maybe taking your left hand and forearm back behind the calf, folding it in, and extending, reaching up through those right toes. And wherever you are, dig deep, you guys. Root down. Take a couple more breaths. See if you can extend the right toes up one more little bit. Good, and then go ahead and release, step the right foot back. You're going to walk your hands over to the right, spin the feet so all 10 toes face that way. I'm going to turn around so I'm not facing away from you. And you'll lengthen as you inhale, exhale, fold. See if you can unweight your hands here so you're really strong and grounded through your feet. Clasp your hands behind your back and let your hands come forward and away from your low back. And as you root down through your feet, let your neck relax. And you might even suction cup your hands together, the palms and the heels of your hands. Take 2 more breaths. Good. Ease your way back up. You can release your clasp, lengthen, walk the hands to the left, back up toward the top of your mat. And again, your choice here. We'll step back to plank, and you're going to shift your weight into your left hand, roll to the outer edge of your left foot for a Vashisthasana side plank. Now you have those same options. You could bring the sole of your right foot to your inner thigh and work with this version of your balance. Or you could grab a hold of your knee and try to float that leg up. Stay strong and solid through that arm and straight and strong through your left leg. Take another breath. Release out of that. Back to plank pose, directly to down dog, or slowly through your chaturanga. Shoulders back, open and lift up through your chest, downward facing dog. You can take 5 breaths here, or if you need to take a little rest in child's pose, you can work with that. Take your time. If you want to give another shout out to Turbo Dog, you can work with that as well. So just a couple more breaths. Make your way back up to your hands and knees, everybody. Downward facing dog, just for a breath. And then bend your knees, look forward, step or hop forward toward your hands, lengthen spine. Exhale, fold. Anchor the feet, let's come all the way up to standing. Stretch up tall, reach up. And bring the hands together in front of the heart. Good. So we're going to work today with hand to big toe posture. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So you might want to use your strap for this. Let me just show you some options and then we'll work through it together. So we'll start standing on the left leg and pull the right knee up. Okay, so this might be where you stay. You can just hold onto the knee, or you could take the first 2 fingers of your right hand and reach around and grab a hold of your big toe and extend the leg, okay? Or you could take a hold of your strap, bring the strap around the foot or the belt or whatever you're using, and give the strap as much slack as you need. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and get set up with whatever version, and we're going to do about 5 breaths forward, about 5 breaths with the leg out, bring it back and fold, and then float the leg for about 5 breaths. Okay, that's a lot, but I'm going to do it with you. Forza ragazzi, we can do it. So shift your weight into your left foot, and you'll pull your right knee up. If you haven't already, you can use your strap. That's totally fine. or your peace fingers on your right hand, reach around, hold on to the big toe, and extend the leg forward. For 5 deep breaths. It's kind of on your honor. Feel into the ground with your left foot, strong and steady, and see if you can sit up or stand a little bit taller in this pose. Good. Now, we're going to open the right leg out to the right. Try not to lean to the left. Try to stay strong and sturdy. Okay? And for a little extra challenge, you could gaze to your left. Good. And then wrap back to center. Fold over the leg for a moment. And here's the kicker, you guys. Let go of the toe, float your leg. Hands on hips. You need to bend your knee, that's fine, but keep your leg up. Dig deep. Push down, use your core. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, kick the leg up, and release. Whew. Ooh, that was hard. Shake it out. Walk it off if you need to. Okay? Let's come back. Find your center. Let's do the other side. So you can use your strap. Again, we're working with about 5 breaths forward, 5 breaths out, fold, and then 5 breaths floating. Okay? Here we go. And if you guys are just sitting down watching me, I'd be very upset. You better do this with me. Okay, so standing on the right foot, pull your left knee in. If you're able, reach down, grab your big toe. Extend the left leg forward. Keep your gaze steady and focused on one spot that's not moving. So that's probably not me. Push into the floor with that right foot. Stand a little bit taller using your core. Now we're going to open the left leg out to the left without leaning to the right as best you can. Strong, maybe even shifting your gaze past your right shoulder. Take another breath. Bring your leg back through center. Bow to the leg. And then float it. So let go of your foot, but keep your leg up. You guys can do it. You can always bend your knee, but keep your leg in the air. Dig deep, keep breathing. Take one more breath, keep the leg up, and release. Shake it out. Whatever you gotta do. You guys are awesome. Come back to the top of your mat. We're gonna go through one last little sequence here. Okay, so come back to the top of the mat, mountain pose. Let's release the arms down. Inhale, reach the arms up, lift and lengthen. Exhale, dive forward and fold. Again, you might bend the knees, lengthen out your spine, halfway lift. And then plant your hands, step, plank pose. You can do the chaturanga or you can skip it. If you're doing it, slow motion. Open it up, cobra or up dog, downward facing dog. On your next in-breath, slowly stretch the right leg in the air. Bend your leg, turn and open up through your hip. And then step this right foot through. Turn the back heel flat to the floor. Come up into a warrior 2 position. Okay, so a strong lunge in that right leg. Arms lengthening out parallel with the ground. Push into the floor with that back foot. Maybe draw a little bit deeper into your lunge. Think about having a string at the crown of your head lengthening you up. Take one more breath. Straighten up this front leg, setting up for triangles. You could heel toe this back foot in just a little bit. Reach forward and bring that right hand down to your shin, or if you happen to have a block, you could place that left hand on your block. Good. As you anchor down through both feet, stay strong through your core. Turn, maybe gaze up past your left fingertips. For the last couple breaths, stretch that left arm forward alongside the ear. Root through your back foot and stretch even more, like you're trying to reach those left fingertips toward the front of the room. Take one more breath. Good, you guys, and then bring it back down. Now, you're going to step to plank pose. Shift your weight to your right hand, Vashisthasana. So, you can stick with one of those other versions of this pose, or take a hold of your left big toe, first fingers of your left hand, and extend the leg up into a bind. This is similar to what we just did standing, but we're in our balance. Oh, good job, you guys. Bring it back. Come right down to your knees. Take your knees a little bit wider. Stretch your right arm out and up. And let's thread the needle. Just give a little love, a little TLC to that right shoulder and arm. Good, you guys, unwind out of that. Send your right arm back out, reach it up, and bring the hand back to the floor. Downward facing dog. So, same thing, other side. Just turn around in this direction. You're going to stretch left leg back, reach it up. Bend your leg, open the hip without shifting much through your shoulders. Step your left foot through. Turn your back heel flat. Come up into your warrior two position. And so, same thing on this side, grounded and steady through your feet, and lengthening out through the arms, pelvis, pretty level. And maybe keeping your gaze forward just beyond your left fingertips. You might try to deepen into that lunge a little bit, and imagine a string on the crown of your head lengthening you up. Take another breath here. Strong legs. Straighten up your left leg. Setting up for Trikonasana triangle, you might heel toe that back foot forward a little bit. Reach forward, lengthen, left hand down to shin or block, right arm reaching up. And so take your time here, we're not in any rush. And just let the body breathe and feel. If it suits you, you can gaze up past your right fingertips for a few breaths. And for the last few breaths, as we did on the other side, this right arm will stretch forward alongside the ear. Push into the ground with your right foot at the back of the mat. Lengthen that right side body. Maybe even look forward beyond your right fingertips. One more breath here. Good, and then bring it back down. Step to plank pose. Shift your weight into your left hand. Okay, so you can stick with any of those other versions of Vashi, or reach for your right big toe and extend the leg up, coming into your bind. Take another breath here, you guys. And then release on out of that. Woo, come down to your knees. Send your left arm out and up and thread the needle. Take one more breath here. And then unwind out of that. Stretch that left arm back out and reach. Bring the hand to the floor. And I'd like for you to scooch around and make your way onto your backs. And you might use a strap for this too. We're going to be doing reclined hand to big toe posture. So you can take your strap and just have it be ready if you want to use that. So come onto your backs. Hug your right knee in toward your chest. And just circle this right knee around a little bit. Just slowing things down, moving a little bit through that right hip joint. And then if you're able to grab a hold of your big toe, grab your big toe and extend the leg up and breathe. If you can't quite grab your toe, take a hold of your strap and just feel into the extension of this right leg. Try to keep your back body stable and grounded to the floor, feeling into your right hamstrings here. Let's bring the left hand to the left hip or even the top of the thigh just to stabilize. We're going to open this right leg out to the right. Maybe using your strap. Try not to let the whole body kind of shift over like that. You keep the sacrum back, the pelvis steady. Take your leg back up. We're going to take this into a twist. You'll grab the outer edge of your right foot with your left hand and switch your right arm out to the right. If you can't quite do that, use your strap and guide your right leg over into your left. Continue to draw this right hip and sits bone down toward the bottom of your mat. Right hip away from the right armpit or shoulder. Take one more breath here. Send a sigh out your mouth. And bring your right leg back up. And release leg back to the floor. Shake it out. And hug your left knee in toward your chest. Let's circle through this left hip a little bit. And you can reach down and grab a hold of your big toe, first two fingers of your left hand, and stretch the leg up. Or grab a hold of your strap and take it around the foot. Breathing here, keeping the neck relaxed, your jaw released, your back body stable and grounded. The right hand is going to rest on the hip or the thigh just to get stable and steady. Let your left leg open out to the left. Take your leg back up through center. And again, you'll either grab the outer edge of your foot with your right hand or use a strap. Left arm out to the left and guide this leg up and over. And use a strap on this side. A little tighter on the left side. And over. And as we do that, we'll continue to pull this left hip down, like you're trying to lengthen the left side of the waistline and the outer hip, the hip away from the shoulder and the armpit. Take one more breath here, everybody. Send a sigh out your mouth and let it cleanse. And then take your leg back up through center. Remove your strap. Take your leg out, shake it out. And then go ahead and extend the arms up and back alongside the ears. Get a nice stretch top to bottom. And exhale, release your arms down along your sides. You might take your feet out a little wider or open up into more like a star shape. We are going to arrange the body for Shavasana, corpse pose. If there's anything else that you need, that your body needs before Shavasana, happy baby pose or some kind of a twist. I focused a lot on our hamstrings today. But anything else that you would like, you can work with that before settling into Shavasana. Corpse pose. And as you come to rest here in our final relaxation, let the breath come back to its natural cadence and just an effortless, easy breath. And I'd like to share with you some words today by the poet Mary Oliver. This poem is called Invitation. Oh, do you have time to linger for just a little while? Out of your busy and very important day. For the goldfinches that have gathered in a field of thistles. For a musical battle. To see who can sing the highest note or the lowest. Or the most expressive of mirth. Or the most tender. Their strong, blunt beaks drink the air as they strive melodiously, not for your sake and not for mine, and not for the sake of winning, but for sheer delight and gratitude. Believe us, they say. It is a serious thing just to be alive. On this fresh morning, in this broken world, I beg of you, do not walk by without pausing to attend to this rather ridiculous performance. It could mean something. It could mean everything. It could be what Rilke meant when he wrote, "You must change your life." You begin to feel into your breath here, expanding the belly. Bringing a little bit of movement and life back into the body. Stretching and appropriate for you. Make your way over to your side into a fetal position. And then come back up to your seat on your mat. On your next in-breath, everybody, let's go ahead and stretch the arms up, reaching up tall. And then hands come together in front of the heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, for taking some time to breathe and to be in the body, to be present. And we will finish together with one round of Om. You're welcome to join in, or you can just listen. Full breath in. Namaste.